Welcome back to Little Fix Big Life. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a load of snow again, but luckily it hasn't affected our progress on the renovations. We're a big step along in the carport build with both tiles and cladding underway, with only a couple of hiccups as we go. We also have some news about the next episode, with some plans that have been in works for a couple of years now. There's lots to share, so we'll get straight to it.
So last time out, you obviously saw that we got the house wrap battens and the roofing felt and battens on. So today we're back at it to hopefully get the cladding on the side and to get the tiles on the roof. Before we can start laying any tiles, we need to tie the existing wall into the new roof. To do this, we're using dry soakers, which are a pre-formed fiberglass shape, which has to be chased into the render and sealed in, and then sits under the tiles, acting as a gutter for the water to run down and away from the wall. Due to the angle of the two roofs being different, I needed to take a bit out of the fascia to make it fit. Not a concern though, as we want to replace all of the fascia, and this has currently been done in an old-fashioned way, whereas the new will be fixed higher and so won't be disturbed by the tiles. Then onto laying the tiles. In the UK, it's common to fix about every third row down. However, because we're in a windy place, I decided to fix every other row.
There are over 200 tiles just on this small section of roof. Each one needed lifting up to the top of the tower before being cut and placed. You okay? What's up? It's okay. we still need to finish off the roof with some ridge tiles, but that's a job for another day.
For the cladding, the first thing we did, which apparently we failed to film, was to level across the battens at the height we wanted the bottom of the cladding to sit, and then fix the starter clips to that line for the cladding to sit on, giving, hopefully, a nice straight finish. Then, the last thing to do before actually starting to fix the cladding was to trim the bottoms of the batten.
When this was ready to go, Johnny started on the actual cladding, measuring, cutting and fitting the first length.
Challenge, that's the problem now, is I was only going to go to the end, but actually since we're over, do I either do, so it's a straight join all the way up, and then only tied in that bit of it, otherwise I've got to build that whole end wall.
He realised that in order to do the cladding properly, we needed to add another job to the to-do list next. To have natural looking joins in the cladding, we needed to have the full run of the wall finished, as you have to do the full length from bottom to top. This means the extension part of the wall, which we didn't plan on doing till later, had to be done now. Johnny and Luna spent some time working out if there was any way around this, or whether they just needed to accept the job was bigger than originally planned for at this time. So, Johnny built a wall. The plan all along had been to join the new structure to the existing garage. The plan for this joining section was to have a flat roof with access from the garden where the current gate sits.
You can tell I had a few jobs to get done before our deadline, and so hadn't taken the step back that you sometimes need. I'd forgotten to reduce the height of the wall to finish under the existing roof. Luckily at this point it was still a simple fix, with only a couple of timbers needing to be reduced in length.
Although we were only cladding one side, we needed to build up the wall on the opposite side as well, so it was structurally sound, knowing how windy it gets. Adding the other side also meant we could put a temporary tarp on the top as a cover and try and protect some of the vehicles and our caravan that we planned on parking underneath for a while. The ply went on, and then it was time for my favourite job, house wrap. Really not so bad this time though, as it was so much less windy than before and nowhere near as high. The battens went on, ready to carry on with the original job of the weekend, cladding. Johnny was determined to see some progress, so even though light was fading fast, he kept on going. However, the painful job didn't stop there.
The cladding system we had chosen was a composite material, which would be great for the fact there's no ongoing painting to be done or chance of rot. It's the hassle-free option in the long term. However, it also means it contains plastic, which blunts saw blades and drill bits alike, and as each length needs cutting, pilot holes drilling and countersinking, it meant that very quickly everything got very blunt, slowing progress almost to a stop.
Still going.
After a good night's sleep and a glass or two of wine, the next morning I came out to lend Johnny a hand and we got through another chunk before it got dark this time. The plastic was eating drill bits just as quickly as the day before, but at least it didn't feel quite as time sensitive having started earlier in the day. You can see just how much extra pressure Johnny's having to put behind the drill to make it work. So we've been working hard trying to get the carport to a decent point to leave it for a while. Reason being, we're soon off on a very belated honeymoon to New Zealand. We're leaving the dogs in the house in the very capable hands of a local dog and house sitter. We've made peace with the fact the carport isn't finished before we leave, but it will become our priority to get finished as soon as we're back. Now the big question for you guys is, do you want a video showing what we get up to in New Zealand? We've been planning the trip since before we got engaged. So we have a jam-packed itinerary, travelling around both North and South Islands in a camper van, trying to see as much of the country as we can. We're very excited to be heading off on this once-in-a-lifetime trip. So we'll see you guys back here when we're home. Thanks so much for watching again. If you like what we're up to, don't forget to drop the video a like and to subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. This is Little Fix, Big Life. We'd love to have you along for the ride.